one of the things that I really have to reinforce about working in the entertainment industry and the music industry in particular is how fast-paced it is. And that sounds often like a cliche, but it is very true. The core decision makers of the industry are located literally in a few dozen people who either work in New York or Los Angeles, and the decisions that affect what happens really in the entertainment industry, certainly from a music perspective all over the world, are discussed, negotiated, and decided by a small group of people that I am very privileged to be to participate in. And so we received an invitation to take on the role of marketing and promotion experts for the 50 Cent concert in Toronto in December 2005. Essentially, this was a tour which had already been scheduled to occur all throughout the world. 50 Cent had just released an album called The Massacre. And as a case in point, to give you some scale and scope of how large of an artist 50 Cent is, his album sold 1.14 million records in the first 4 days of being on sale. The last artist to do that was the Beatles in 1964. Right, so this is by no means any small undertaking or any small decision that's in front of you. We are dealing with here the largest of the large international music celebrities, independent of any of our particular views of the content of their lyrics or the style of music. And I'll leave my personal views till the end. Still, we are dealing with a very large, very successful, top-of-the-pop artist. What we were specifically asked to do was to develop a media and marketing campaign in support of the concert. So we would specifically engage radio stations, television stations, print media, electronic media, and street promotion, flyering and postering as part of the overall way in which the concert was going to be marketed and promoted so that people would find out about it, buy tickets, and attend. And so that's what's at issue here. We were asked to take on this role specifically for the Canadian market as 50 Cent's only show was in Toronto. And so the size of the contract, just to give you some perspective, was moderate. I mean, it's not to say that it wasn't a small contract, but it certainly wasn't the largest contract that we've been involved in, but it was something that was substantial enough for us to take a good hard look at actually doing this. And most importantly, this concert was going to occur in Toronto under all circumstances, whether we were involved in the show or not. So really the decision that we were placed, the decision context within which I found myself, and that we found ourselves a decision-making group, is should we take on the role of marketing and promoting a show that's going to already occur? And literally I had less than an hour to make a decision about whether or not we were going to participate in this particular context. So those are the bare facts, and now I'm going to invite you to take on the wonderful role of putting yourself in my shoes and making a decision through the voting mechanisms that we've now all practiced through once, through our Love of Fridays. What would you do in our circumstance?
So this is a question. Should the company accept the invitation to market the 50 Cent concert? And those are your options. You can read through them. Yes, but ethics is irrelevant. Had nothing to do with should have nothing to do with the decision. Yes, ethically acceptable. Yes, but some ethical concerns. Uncertain, not enough information. No. So you're going to say, no, they shouldn't accept the concert. Further ethical analysis required. Absolutely not. Ethically unacceptable. And finally, no, but ethics has nothing to do with it. You're going to ask a question? No, it's you're now the executive, and you're now making the decision. And the question is, what if you were the CEO of this company, would your decision be? You're not answering for anybody but yourself. So you have now become the CEO of a music entertainment company, and you're going to decide, will I or will I not, or will my company or will it not accept this contract? They had an hour. Neil had an hour. You've got about another minute. Okay, you can vote now. It's open, and you can vote, and we're going to be closing it down relatively quickly. When you voted, we're going to show you how to do it. There's a question back there, Renaud.
I'm going to disclose.
We're going to disclose later. The question is, on the basis of these facts, what would you do?
What we're trying to do is to set up sort of the bare basic business facts without all the other context, which is behind your question. So simply knowing what's in front of you, which are really sort of just the core elements of the business case, what would you do?
Okay, about 10 more seconds. Everybody's voted? We'll close it. Oh. Okay, Renaud, we'll close the voting. We'll see what your decision was on the basis of these bare facts. So can you read it across? And it looks like the majority fell in yes, but with some ethical concerns. Okay? Now we're going to watch to see whether or not your decision changes as the evening proceeds. We're going to add more and more information to the bare facts that you've now received, and Neil's going to continue the discussion by adding the second tranche of the case description.
It's very neat to see the collective wisdom of the room expressed instantaneously like that. What a great teaching tool. So I'm going to move on to sort of what I'm calling the enhanced set of facts. And this by no means is the universe of all the things that one could consider. In fact, this is a case in point. I received a phone call today from an advertising executive, a very senior person at a very major advertising firm, who I work with on a regular basis, who, upon finding out that I would be giving this speech tonight, said to me, I didn't even think that there might be an ethical dimension to your involvement in this concert until it was presented to me and this form was raised. In other words, that ethics was not even on the radar screen of this individual, and in fact could only understand it in terms of the context of the hard business issues as this business person would see it. So it's great that tonight we get to look at it from this perspective as well. So here are the enhanced facts. Okay, so one of the most important contextually relevant facts is that Toronto, as it continues to be, is in a heightened state of awareness around issues of gangs and gun violence. And of course, this is an area of major concern to everybody. And in this particular instance, there was a very strong connection drawn between this artist, this performance, and this particular issue, which was picked up by all the major media outlets. And in fact, you'll see one of the points on here was that we, by contract, were somewhat silenced, but I had actually been invited to debate on the National with Peter Mansbridge, this particular issue, on national television, which I would have loved to have done. Taking this one step further, both local and federal politicians weighed in. Most notably, because he was in the media on a regular basis, was Liberal MP Dan McTague, who actually petitioned Canada Immigrations and Customs to try and prevent 50 Cent from coming into Canada simply on the basis of his record and mostly on the content of his lyrics as it connected to concerns over these particular issues of guns, gangs, and violence in Toronto. So there's no doubt